Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This will be a lesson about changing the player color after it hits the color changer object. We'll be creating the object and editing an already existing script so that it gives it functionality. And trust me, it's much easier than it actually seems. So first off, right click in the Hierarchy tab to create a new 2D object and a sprite. Let's immediately rename the sprite to color changer. Let's go ahead and assign a tag. Click on add a tag and add a tag called color changer as well. I have already done that, I'm just showing you, and make sure you go back to the color changer object and select that tag. Also make sure to reset the positions first. And then in the sprite renderer tab we want to choose an image. Click on the little circle and choose this image. That's an image that I already prepared. Double click it. And since it's too big, we want to change the scale to 0.25 and again 0.25. We also want to change the sorting layer to foreground, and that's the sorting layer that we created in one of the first lessons. Another thing that we want to do is we want to add a collider to this. So click Add Component, Physics 2D, and choose a Circle Collider 2D. Make sure you check the Ease Trigger option. And that's basically everything that we need to do about this object. It's going to be a prefab, but we won't save it yet because we want to do some testing and see if it actually works correctly. We want to be creating a new script because we already have a script attached to the player game object that handles the collisions, and it's called the player collision script. To open it up, simply right click it and choose Edit Script. Once it's open, you can see that we already wrote comments before indicating where to write the next code. But since we are handling the color changer before the point, let's go ahead and switch these comments quickly. Just so we don't get confused later. So we already have an if statement that's checking whether the player collided with an obstacle. And if that's true, it will execute this code. So if it's not true, then we want to check whether it collided with something else. So else if collision dot tag equals to color changer, then we want to execute some code that will change the player's color. And we have already handled some similar code in a script called player start color. So let's open up that and check it out. Right click and choose Edit Script. Just as a reminder, we had a random value between 0 and 4, excluding 4, and depending on which number we got, we would change the player's color to some of these 4 colors. So let's go ahead and copy this code. We can paste it here, but we will be editing it. First off, we can see that we are missing the player sprite variable, so let's go ahead and add it at the beginning. It's going to be a private variable. The type is going to be sprite renderer, and let's call it player sprite to keep the same name. Also a kind reminder that this is a script that's attached to the player game object. So we are introducing the variable here and we are assigning the value here. We'll need 4 different if statements inside of this else if statement. We'll check whether the player is yellow. We'll have a certain code. And we'll have one for every color. Trust me, these comments can be a lifesaver sometimes. So we can see that we are introducing the random variable before we even know which color of the player it is. But we shouldn't do that. So let's go ahead and write some if statement for these different variations. So if name equals to yellow, that means the player is yellow. And we can get the name simply by typing name, since this script is attached to the player game object, as I said. Let's go ahead and copy this, since we'll be writing it 4 times. Instead here will be red. Make sure don't make any typing mistakes, because that's absolutely crucial here. And we won't be introducing the random variable before we know which color it is, so let's go ahead and cut this, paste it here, and now we can go ahead and copy it to every single of these. And now we can go ahead and cut this, paste it here, and since the player is already yellow, in this case we will be getting rid of the case 1 completely. And we'll rename this to be case 1 and this to be case 2. So every single set of these codes is going to be only 3 cases, because 1 color will be missing, and we need to reduce the range to 3. So it's either 0, 1 or 2. And before I made the mistake, make sure you change these if statements after the first one to else if. Let me go back into the other script to copy the code again, but this time we won't be needing the int variable. So just copy the switch statement, paste it into the red, and again it's going to be from 0 to 3, and we are going to eliminate the first one. Don't forget to change the names of these cases. The code is already copied on my clipboard, so I can go ahead and paste it here in the cyan, and we are going to eliminate the last case and reduce this range to 3. And once again the same procedure, except this time we'll be eliminating case 2, 0, 1 and 2, and reducing the range again. Save this, and let's see if it actually works. So our player shouldn't be able to get the same color twice, which seems true. So everything seems fine, except we need the color changer to be destroyed once the player changes the color. And that's very easy to do. Just go back into the script. And the first thing that you want to do, if you determine that the collision is with the color changer, is you want to destroy the object that you collided with. And that is the color changer, as we determined. To do that, we are going to use the destroy function once again. Destroy collision dot game object, and it's as simple as that. Make sure to save it again Go back to the Unity project and let's see if it works. Yep, that's exactly how we wanted it to be. What we want to do next is to change the position of this color changer, since we want it to be after the obstacle. Somewhere around here. And we also need to make it into a prefab. To do that, simply drag it into the prefabs folder. After that is done, we'll need a way to instantiate it. So first we'll need a spawn point. Let's just duplicate this by Ctrl+D and rename it to color changer spawn. And we want it to be a bit lower than the rectangle, so let's drag it all the way down. We can just use the half screen script that we use to clone the obstacles. So right click on it and go to edit script. And we'll need some new variables. Both are going to be public game objects. The first one is going to be color changer prefab. And the second one will be the color changer spawn point. So simply, whenever we spawn an obstacle, we want to spawn this color changer above it. Maybe we'll need to edit the location a little bit, but that's easily adjustable. So here's where we spawn a small circle, and I forgot the comment here, so let me fix that. And here's where we spawn the rectangle. So after we spawn the circle, we also want to instantiate the color changer. The prefab is called color changer prefab, and the location will be color changer spawn point dot transform dot position, and of course the rotation will be color changer spawn point dot transform dot rotation. And we are just going to copy this line of code for this case as well. Make sure to save it and let's see if it actually works. Oh, I forgot to assign the variables. Sorry. So go to your half screen and find the script, and we can see that the color changer prefab and spawn point are missing. Simply take the prefab, drag it into the prefab area, and the spawn point is the same. So let's see now. Okay, it seems to work, but the position is a bit tough, but we can edit that easily. Just need to move it up a little bit. Just take the color changer spawn and drag it to around here. Let's see how it works now. Okay, it seems fine now, just the only thing that I would like to change is to delete it from the starting play. Since it will spawn automatically. Okay, this seems perfect. I told it's going to be way easier than you think. It might seem a little bit complicated with the many if statements, but when you think about it, it's really simple.